Welcome back, YouTube. So in today's video, we're going to touch on a variety of topics around Dogecoin and get an understanding of some of the catalysts that has made Dogecoin break trend again. And we are now gapping up for the third time, well, gapping in the third time in this frame here that we're looking at. This is something that we covered as far as for it being extremely volatile once we break out of those levels. As of yesterday, before Elon's post that we're going to take a look at, we're looking like we're going to trade sideways. We got some bounces off of the 709 mark. Got a couple bounces off of there. It was looking like we're going to trade sideways, and then he made his post, and now we're gapping for the third time. So we're going to cover all that, get into the Tesla phone, the Twitter usage, integration for utility, all that kind of good stuff in this video. But first, I want you to know that this video is brought to you by Moomoo. And you can get up to 15 free stocks if you use the link in the description section when you open a new account with them. I have a link down below for that. So getting into the numbers here, let's take a look at the numbers first that we were looking at. When we're looking at gap territory, this means that there's very little support or resistance in this area. So you can swing either way. And technically we enter this right here at around 879. And you see that we got this this starlight here with just a little bit of, I guess, an invalidation as far as for what direction that you're going to go. And then, of course, the next one was the green candle, and we just had that explosion. So as long as we're in this range, we can have a severe swing in either direction. And even on the green candle here, I know we're still forming it. We still have some room to go up. A first sign of a pushback could be at around 11 cents. But you see here, it went all the way to 1220 on the initial gap. But just looking at this here, this is not, it wouldn't be shocking to see it even go to 11 cents. It looks like we're getting somewhat of a rejection here at around 1079. But overall, if this goes up another penny or so, it's not out of the ordinary. So that's just something you can kind of have on there. And we'll see, because this entire range here is without support. So even if it, I don't think shorts are going to try and come in with this kind of momentum, but yeah. So 892 to around like 10. Let's take a look here at shorts since I brought it up just to kind of see if they're responding. But when you have this long-term catalyst, they typically don't try and jump on it, but we'll see if they're doing something different. So yeah, shorts are up 30% today. So you'll see them. Yeah, they've been creeping up here for a while, trying to get the price down, and it looks like they're responding already to this new price increase. 30%, yeah. So they're really high. They're on par. Oh my, yeah, they're being very aggressive here to try and maintain this momentum here with Dogecoin. They're on par with the highest they've been since. Oh my God. Since a year ago. They haven't been this high since last December. Wow. Okay, yeah. So yeah, they're really trying to get this under control here. But these long-term catalysts are the reason that they're being a little afraid and also trying to stop this momentum. And Dogecoin is still holding 10 cents. So that's just something we're going to keep an eye on going into this week. But ultimately, let's look at because this is right now where we can see where we're going to close at. That's more important, where we close this candle at for today. So that's something we can kind of touch on later tonight. But let's take a look here at the tweets and stuff that kind of caused this explosion. So we're going to talk about the phone and stuff as well, but this is really the straw that broke the camel's back, to say, as far as that sent it over the edge, is the payments was left blank. And you've seen people allude to say, oh, it means white paper. And you've seen people place the Dogecoin emoji in there, like here. It certainly was left blank on purpose, but lets you know that they're exploring, or at least Elon's exploring, alternative payment methods like he said he would when it comes down to paying for things like Twitter Blue and stuff. And of course, it's been long said that it's going to be Dogecoin, and he said so as well, that he's going to be working on it for Dogecoin. So this leads people to come into the coin to get a position here, because again, this is one of the major catalysts that people are waiting for. So when we look at this and we say, okay, how do we couple this, and what does this mean for the price of Dogecoin? Well, I've done a number of videos when you look at the numbers and you're saying that, oh, okay, well, 135 billion coins is a lot, but not if you're using it as a currency and you have a lot of people. So much that let's take a look here at another video, another tweet by Elon. And let's see here. Right here. He said that this is what failure looks like to the left. And he said, I think I see a path to Twitter exceeding 1 billion monthly users in 12 to 18 months. So if you have 1 billion people, right, and this is an extreme, let's just say everybody is using it, but we know everybody's not going to use Dogecoin for payment, but I just want to put it into perspective. Let's just say everybody used, 1 billion people used the Dogecoin for payments or, for marketing, Twitter Blue, whatever he integrates it in. There's 135 billion Dogecoin right now. That's 135 Dogecoin per person, right? And this just kind of puts it into perspective here. And if you want to say if we go 50% of people use Dogecoin, you just double that, right? What is that? 270 Dogecoin per person, right? So it's not the number that people focus on, like as far as for the amount of coins, is not as significant as you think when it comes to utility and people using these coins and having those coins in their wallet off of exchanges. It puts a strain on the available supply, and that's really the catalyst. That's really what you need to, in a way, create a scarcity for the coin, and as far as the availability of it, and that causes an increase in price. And you don't see things like the short chart that we just looked at. It'll be much more expensive for them to take out those positions, and even for exchanges to even lend coins, it becomes more expensive because it's a lot harder to come by. It's easy to lend coins out to short when you got a few hundred million or a couple billion of them in your exchange. You feel really comfortable lending them out because you're like, oh, okay, we have a bunch of them. If we do get, if there's a margin call, or if we had to cover for whatever reasons or liquidations and stuff, we have a bunch of them, we're fine. But when you start moving those coins off, and like what we're doing with putting our coins in our own wallets and ledgers, and even if Twitter comes out with their own wallet, you start moving those coins off, now we got to have a different conversation, right? So this is one of the, this is a couple of the major things that we're doing, and I may dissect this on a separate video, but that is really, really important. And I believe even those numbers, outside of obviously Twitter accepting Dogecoin for payments, those numbers are really what's going to change the game for Dogecoin in terms of its price point, even where it ranks in the top 10 of cryptocurrencies. Those numbers are really important. And then, of course, I'm going to see if I can find it when he said he didn't want to, about the phone. That's a big catalyst too, but Twitter obviously is going to be the biggest one here. If I can't find it, then that's fine. I was trying to tag these, but every time someone tags Elon or he responds to something, it pushes it down. So, but a long story short was, he was saying that if Twitter was blocked by Apple and Google, which he hoped doesn't happen, he'd create an alternative phone to pretty much allow free speech and encourage the things and the vision and stuff that he has with Twitter. So that's what the people were saying, that okay, we could have a third market here, because they're saying that if Twitter is blocked on like the App Store and stuff like that, he's still going to continue with his endeavor in Twitter, obviously, and he'll just create a different phone that will allow obviously Twitter usage and stuff. And I believe that he will have a huge support system for that. And we've seen a lot of people say that they would immediately buy like a Tesla phone or whatever kind of phone he would come out with, especially if he's encouraging not tracking your every move and listening to your phone calls. And I don't know. I mean, I have an iPhone, don't get me wrong, but if you read like the TOS and some of these phone things, as far as for them being able to turn off your phone or listen to your phone calls, or permissions that they give the government and stuff like that, it's alarming, almost as alarming as what you see in the TOS of some of these exchanges. It's terms of service. I know nobody likes to read them, but when you do, you really get an understanding for what you're actually working with. So I believe that'll be a huge market for Tesla. And obviously, I do believe Dogecoin to be integrated with the phone services as well. and that news came out a little before the payments. So that's why I don't think that it's as directly related, but it'll kind of be a help for Dogecoin. But the payment system and him saying that he believes there's a pathway to over 1 billion users in the next year to year and a half. This is just math. This is just math at this point here, and I believe a lot of people have come to that conclusion, and that's why you see people take out. Oh, here it is, right here. I literally stopped scrolling like 2 seconds before. So, if Apple and Google boot Twitter from their app stores, Elon Musk should produce his own smartphone. Half the country would happily ditch the biased snooping iPhone and Android. The man builds rockets to Mars. A silly little smartphone should be easy, right? And he said, I certainly hope it does not come to that. But yes, if there is no other choice, I will make an alternative phone. And you literally see over 500,000 people like this, 169.7 like this one. And I'm going to add another one. Boom. Okay, so this is the Twitter I just was talking. I mean, the post I just was speaking on, and absolutely, you can see there's already, even for the limited amount of people that even saw that post, you see that there's a bunch of people who would encourage that move. So I believe this is all positive news for Dogecoin, for Twitter, for free speech. It's going to be a very interesting year and a half that we see here, and I'm looking forward to tracking the growth and stuff that we're seeing on Twitter, whether that's usage and or users. So all in all, this is big news for the community. This is big news for the price action that what we've seen, and I do believe that we're going to see some really shocking numbers here over the next year or so. And I think that what we're looking at, even with price action, if we take a look at the charts here, we're going to see where we find support at and where we close this candle at. And I'll provide an update, let you guys know what we're looking at. But as of right now, we're looking at around 17, a little over 17% for the day on the chart. So we'll see where we close at. But overall, people are taking positions in this coin because when you have this type of catalyst, that's just changing the game here. That's why we haven't went back to 6 cents. I know some people say we can go back to 6 cents. It's not impossible. You see shorts working very aggressively, but when you have long-term catalyst, that gives people more of a reason to hold and more of a reason to buy more. So that makes it much more difficult volume-wise to go back down to 6 cents. It makes the shorts have to work relatively hard, and they're not going to stay in those positions as long. Even if we do have a retraction, they're going to try and close out some of those positions. So it kind of changes the game from what we've seen earlier this year. But of course, we're going to track that here at the channel. That's what we do. And I will relay that information to you how I see it. If you found value in this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.